Hey loves, it's me, Love Jones. I am back with another one. I have to see what's in this energy, y'all. Let me just say, when you have spiritual people, let me just say this first. When I was growing up, I had family members who were into spiritual practices. I'll say that. So everybody like to say everything is spiritual, but some things don't really be about being spiritual. It's people who just do straight voodoo. It's people who just do straight black magic, just straight witchcraft out here. Unfortunately, that's all they do. They don't have any kind of spiritual anything under their belt. They don't know anything about grounding their energy. They don't know anything about not allowing things to take you over. They don't know anything about being spiritually clean, not just physically, but spiritually. Spiritual hygiene. All they know is black magic. All they know is witchcraft. And unfortunately, I grew up in a family. One side of my family was like really big in church. And that's what they did. That's what they life controlled them with church. Christianity. I grew up in a Baptist church, and we was in church every Sunday. While the other side of my family, less church and more spiritual things. I don't even want to call it, I don't know if you can call it spiritual things, because my aunts, from what I could understand about people, from what my mother used to tell me, my aunts lean more on the side of spiritual practices to help themselves, to help other people around them, as far as like healing. But I had some cousins, evidently some brothers, sisters, who delved in stuff that wasn't really for healing. It was just about themselves. I just say that. And so anyway, I say all that to say I had two different sides of the family. One I grew up with, which was the church side, and the other one I would just go and visit. But when I would go and visit one side of the family, I never was around the ones that I thought did the witchcraft, did the spell work. And honestly, back then, I was scared of it. Back then, I didn't care to be around people like that, because my thing is I didn't want it done to me. My father, my daddy had to go through a lot based off what someone who did witchcraft did to him. He was in and out of the hospital, always sick, and that's where it came from. Ex-wife, his ex-wife, who was like the voodoo queen, so to speak. You know how they say like Marie Laveau is with New Orleans? That's what she was like, but where I'm from. And so my daddy he went through a lot when it comes to witchcraft. And so I just never really wanted to be around it. And it wasn't until lately where I started going into certain spiritual practices. And I guess you can say I've learned to not be scared of it. It's actually some really good things that come from spirituality. And for some years now, I've been leaning more into that than I have the church, because like I said, some really good things that come out of it. But like everything is good and bad. And I just know when you're surrounded by spiritual people who aren't all good, and I'm saying spiritual, but I use that word lightly because, again, some people just, they are not spiritual people. They just do witchcraft. They just do spell work. And they make it look as if they're spiritual so that certain things they do can be respected. But it's not about that. It's just about them trying to manipulate things to get what they want. Doing hateful things to people they're jealous of. And when you're surrounded by people like that, spiritual warfare gets real. A lot of people think of spiritual warfare and they think of, they're fighting with demons. But the demons are the people. Demons are the people. They are the ones that are around you regularly. They are the ones who look at you with a jealous heart, but they smile in your face and pretend like they love you and they want to be around you. And they really hate you in the inside. They really want to be you in the inside. They're really hateful. And look, I just saying they hateful. They hate you. They're really hateful and envious and malicious and vindictive. Those are the demons. Those are the demons that you're fighting against, so to speak. What that person, the spirits that person has allowed to take them over. And unfortunately, when you're surrounded by spiritual people, it comes with good and bad. That's what I realized when stepping over to this side. It comes with good and bad. I'm about to pull these cards in a second. I'm taking them all out. So anyway, my point in saying that is to say that spiritual warfare is real. And you don't have to necessarily be around the person to have to endure it, because we know when you're talking about spiritual practices, they know how to do things without being around you. And so you have to fight against a lot of things. And I find myself all day long fighting against things. Literally, people coming at me all day long out of hatred, out of jealousy. And it didn't start until my life took a turn for the better. The whole time I was average, I would say. None of that was going on. But when my life started to look up, when things positive started happening for me, that's when I started dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare. A lot of the online bullying, a lot of the stalking, the watching, a lot of things being done to you, to your children. And so you have to be careful. What cards do I have? Life purpose. These are the cards I'm playing with now. Look, that's what came out. Healer. You got to be careful about the people who you allow to have access to you. And at this point, for me, it's nobody. Because when I was out there around people, it took me to be surrounded by people. Family, fake family, I want to add. People I thought was my friends that wasn't my friends. It took me to be out there surrounded by these people why things start happening, and to watch people turn their back and group up, and you realize, it's just you for you. The hate is real. Unfortunately for me, the hate is coming from people who are in certain practices. Speaking of practice, that's crazy. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. Practicing what? Healing. This is what is meant for someone to do. Be a healer. That's your life purpose. Not to have a bunch of people around you and nobody reach out to you to tell you what's going on when things in your life start falling apart, when everybody start acting funny at one time. To be surrounded by people and not one person reach out to you to tell you what's going on. Not family, not friends, not nobody. Everybody just group up together and kind of block you out. And so I just kind of stayed out. And I realized it's best. You get to see a lot of things when you sit back and just observe. It's some people whose entire life is based off witchcraft. They have built their entire lives up off witchcraft. The man they have, the woman they have, the money that they have, that they've been stole from somebody else. But this is coming. Judgment. 10:10. Endings and new beginnings. That's what people are about to face. And they don't realize that it's all fun and games as long as they can hide behind a meme or a video on Facebook and say things to you that they can't say out of their mouths, because these aren't people with a heart. These aren't brave people. These are hateful, jealous, insecure, cowardly people in the background. And they go into witchcraft and spell work because it allows them to do certain things to people and get away with it. You imagine it's easy to make someone look crazy when you're playing with witchcraft. I had to get that card that fell, y'all. It's easy to try to make someone look crazy when you're playing with them with witchcraft. Hold on, y'all. And when you don't know God, to know God is what gives you that courage. It's what gives you that heart. It's what makes it easier for you to stand up for what you believe in, to do the hard work it takes to make changes, certain changes in your life. These people don't think like that. I can't make it up. The card's coming out like this. These people don't think like that. And it's easy for them to do witchcraft and hide. And so for the person that's dealing with it, it's hard for them to respond back because you don't know where it's coming from. That's unfortunate. Because stuff like that can drive certain people crazy, you know. If your mind is strong enough to handle stuff like that, it can drive you crazy. Four of Cups. Four of Cups. It's like losing something. Missed opportunity. Oh, this is not Four of Cups. This is Nine of Cups. This is someone all in their emotions here. And so anyway, I was saying all that as I was pulling out the cards to say, you know, that's why I come on here often and go, let's see what's in the energy right now. And a lot of times I probably be reading my own energy because it don't be somebody here on here all the time. Sometimes I get 10, 15, 20, 30 people on here. And like now, it's none. But it'll be some more pop up soon. And so I feel like sometimes I be reading on my own energy. And if not, I know I resonate with whatever energy be coming out sometimes. And right now, this is what's in the energy. Judgment. Judgment for somebody here. I was just trying to see what was in my energy, to be honest with you, because I can't even sit back and scroll on my phone in peace, y'all. I'm telling y'all, they try to torture me all day long. And I wish I could show you the things that they do. That's what they do all day long. You know, it's one thing to have haters, but it's another thing to have spiritual hatred. And that's what these people are. They have hatred in their hearts. And it's sad. And that's what they think about all day long. How they can say things, do things to get under your skin. And it makes it hard to focus on what you should be focusing on. Because you can't even relax without them being right there. And they're not actually right there. It's just energy that they're constantly sending your way. Some of these people not going to live. They're not going to live long enough to see you get what they're trying so hard for you to not have. And others, they going to live through it, but boy, are they going to suffer. That's what goes around comes around. And so while you sitting in the background thinking you're actively torturing somebody, it's going to come back to somebody, even if it's your kids. That's why when you try to step into certain practices, you need to do a little bit more research on it before you just jump in their head first. And I know a lot of times that's what people do because they feel like you can get stuff easier, quicker that way, if they just dive into it head first. And they don't know what they're doing. And they start learning the spell work and they don't know what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, or how to protect themselves, or how to protect their family, the people who are right there around them, the people who are going to suffer when it all comes back. Because it's only a certain amount of time that you're going to have to push all this negative energy out. And I can't lie and say I feel sorry for people, because I don't. I don't. Everything that they pushed out, they deserve to have that. They deserve to have just that. And so when it all comes back, you can ask me for a prayer. because you can't get that from me. After all this negative energy you put out here, you can't get that from me. Not a dollar, not a prayer, not a thoughtful word, nothing. This wasn't the energy here. I just look like a crazy person. That's what I'm seeing right here. A person losing their mind in this spell work. That's what I see right there. It says Knight of Wands, but me just intuitively speaking, this is a person who's losing their mind in spell work. And maybe it's the energy, the spirits, them demons that they let in that's taking them over. But it's not going to stop them from going through karma. And so when that demon releases that person, it's nothing going to be left except for that person going through all the stuff they put out. Their children going through all the stuff they put out. Their family having to endure everything that comes back with all this stuff they put out. And that's what happens when judgment comes. Because like I said, you only have so long. You only have so long. And this devil energy here, all in your emotions, wrapped up in this devil energy. And then with this Seven of Swords here, this is Cinderella's shoe. This could even be a sibling who's jealous, who doesn't want to see you win, who is in the background instead of facing you. That's what they're doing. Losing their mind in the spell work that they sending your way. And if y'all remember this story, Cinderella was like the chosen one. She was like the chosen one. But she had a wicked stepmother and some stepsisters who kept her always occupied, who kept her cleaning, who kept her doing all the chores, all the hard work, while they laid around, while they had an easy life. She had a hard life. And she initially wasn't supposed to go to that ball. But somehow she was able to. I think it was the dishes. All the dishes and the little birdies helped her to clean up, and they made the dress and did all the things for her to be able to get there. And that shoe was left behind. And that prince ended up looking for her because she was the one that fit the shoe. She the one who he attracted out of all the people where they were at the ball. That was the one that he was the most interested in. But them evil stepsisters. So this could be somebody's stepsisters. I have a lot of those. You know, I have a lot of those. Unfortunately, anybody who's been here know the story of my stepsisters. Could be them. That's where this energy could be coming from. Stepsisters, stepbrothers, half brothers, siblings who looked at you as if you were like the cleanup crew, like you were always beneath them here. The people who look at you as if you can't measure up to them. And so imagine you actually measuring up and the energy you would get because of that. Because they feel like you should stay in a certain place. And that's where the hatred comes in. And people forget about God. They forget about the church they grew up in when they all of a sudden want something. They want it fast. They want it quick. They don't want you to have something. You'd be surprised how quick people start working together to try to sabotage things around. So, that's you. That's definitely Cinderella's shoe. So it can have something to do with siblings, the world. What is this person doing? Spell work. Spell work. A bunch of witchcraft being done here. This world card, this is like the end of a cycle. We got the Page of Cups and the Page of Coins here. This could be a smaller group of people here working together. It could be somebody who says they think something's funny. Somebody who thinks something's funny. Because this person looks really goofy. And these are those laughing hyenas from the Lion King. This could be people who you no longer deal with. It could be people who you no longer associate with, who are doing something they think is funny. Maybe they think it's funny to try to kill your self-esteem. Maybe they think it's funny to try to ruin your relationships. Maybe they think it's funny to ruin jobs for you. Laugh now, cry later. Y'all are going to endure some of the hardest judgment. And I can only think that people who sit in the background and do things like this don't have a belief in God. They don't believe in God. I just seen yes. Was that what I just seen? Yes. Yeah. They don't believe in God. And so it's easy to sit up and call yourself trying to torture somebody who you feel like is better than you. And then act as if it's just a joke because you don't want to be seen as having that kind of hatred in your heart for somebody who did nothing to you. And so you have to make it seem like it's a joke. It's all in fun and games. But people don't joke in the way, in those ways that y'all have set up and done things. Saturn, aging. See, aging here. Saturn popped out. It says rules over bones, teeth, spleen here. Therapeutic effects, drying, coagulation, mineralization of tissues. Somebody not going to make it up out of this, whether they know it or not. When your blood coagulates, it stops the movement. That's why people have blood clots. Blood clots can lead to heart attacks. somebody's health is bad. And maybe they don't realize it's because the energy they're putting out. I keep seeing family set up. It's because the energy that they put out, their health is so bad. But see, you, that healer right there, that person who could help, they don't want it to be you. And so it's not going to be you. I wouldn't go back around those people. And for me, I haven't, to be honest with you. It's those family members, those friends I had in my circle at the time, I have not seen in years. In years, imagine that. To walk away from somebody and not look back. And you think your life would get better. Not that they don't have a way to communicate with me, because I told y'all the story when I went to Costa Rica, how I was gone for one day and they did everything possible to try to contact me. They called me from every social media site. They had other people calling and sending me messages. Cell phone, like I said, social media. They got their ways of being able to contact me. They could easily just hop on social media and send me a message if it was something important. But imagine I haven't talked to them in that long and nobody has bothered to reach out to me. And that speaks volumes in itself, considering I would leave the country for one day and they would all act as if I died. So, people know what they're doing in the background. When I talked to my sister, look, I just cut the deck on spiritual stalking. When I talked to my sister, she was telling me that my niece asked her if I had blocked her. And I remember thinking, well, what did you do for me to block you? Because last time I checked, I thought we were fine. And so what did you go and do behind the scene for me to block you? But I never did ask her that. But I always had that in the back of my mind. And slowly but surely, she started to disappear. Eventually, I would stop talking to her. And it's something that she done in the background. When you do things and you can't stand by what it is you did, when you tell lies on people, when you try to ruin things for people for no reason. You don't want to look like that person. You don't want to look like you're that person. So, she just kind of faded in the background. Went from calling me 10 times a day to not calling at all, to pretending like she don't see the pictures that I post, from hitting like on all my pictures that I post to pretending like she don't see it. And I can tell from the way my niece asked her, well, she didn't block you, did it? And I don't think she realized when she asked me that she was saying a lot. When she said that, rather, that she was telling me a whole lot. I never did figure out what it is specifically she went and did behind my back that would make me want to block her. But I can tell the way everybody started acting, it was something. But anyway, this is the ending of a cycle. Somebody could even be moving after this. After everything that has occurred, and this could very well be from family, spiritually stalking, family using what they know how to do to try to harass you, to try to bully you. But it's things that they couldn't do in your face, because these are cowards. Remember, They'll never do it in your face. They'll pretend as if you have a bond and they love you. They can't do this in your face. But this is how they truly feel in their heart. And so they would sit behind the scene and do it and call it a joke. They will form groups with people who appear to not like you. I keep seeing military and blacklisted. Could have been blacklisted here. Somebody in the military could have maybe put you on some type of list, said something about you to have you blacklisted so that you can't find a job. This is somebody who wanted to hurt you, but they have no reason to want to hurt you. Imagine that, it being hatred in your heart, but you don't have a reason for it. It's not a reason for it, but it's that jealousy that festers into hatred. And it causes you to want to do weird things. So again, they're messing with your job. They're messing with your relationships. They're messing with your money. They try to mess with your self-esteem by bullying. But something here was a bad investment. Because they're doing this to a healer. You shouldn't do it to anyone. But why would you do it to someone who is meant to help people? And how could you be that jealous because you want to help people? And it makes you want to destroy people. Your life purpose is something that's in your heart. You can't be a healer if you have hatred in your heart. And so the jealousy comes from something that you could never measure up to. It comes at you looking at someone be something you know you could never measure up to. Because it's not in you to be that. Because you would have to correct a lot of things about yourself. And you jumped into witchcraft. You jumped into spell work so that you would not have to correct the things about yourself, so that you could get things easy, quick, so that you can manipulate your way into things that's not for you. And so you're jealous, or your jealousy has turned into hatred because you see someone that is something that you wish to be, that you know you could never measure up to. For one, because it's not meant for everybody to be that. But for two, because it's not in your heart. It's not in your heart space to do it. Because you don't actually want to do that thing. What you want is what comes from doing that thing. You want people to like you. You want the clout. You want the money. You want the position it puts you in life. You don't want the actual thing. Because that would mean fixing yourself. Ace of Coins here. In reverse. In reverse. Right after this money list, this liability, this bad investment, somebody's about to lose. They're about to lose. Everything they think they gained off doing this, they're about to lose. So So whoever they've been working with in the background, the military people, that's your vets, the friends they may have had in the military, the ones you can just call in a favor to and have them do what you want them to do without them questioning why you want this. Everybody that helped y'all do what it is that you're doing. This is what you have to expect. Judgment. Judgment. It's a person who is toxic. These are people who are toxic. These are people who are trying to come between someone and their destiny. By making life hard. See the strength here and the King of Cups. And there's 10 of coins here. Just looking at these all together, intuitively speaking, it's almost like someone's looking for something. Maybe they thought they were going to gain something. I feel like it was financially. Someone thought they would gain something financially by doing something here. Because there's this map, it's like they're looking for something. X marks the spot. But this is someone who's all in their emotions here. So maybe it brings me to that reading I did earlier with an inheritance that was supposed to come to this person here. But a family who was going out the way to try to steal it. Whether it was their family, somebody else's family, it was a family going out the way to try to steal this inheritance. And looking at these cards here, that's what it makes me feel like. It's like someone is looking for something, someone looking for, or maybe thinking they would gain something. Thinking they would gain something for doing what they are doing, which is tearing somebody else down, which again goes back to how can you possibly be jealous of a healer when it's not in you? When you live off of destroying people, and healers build people, they fix them, they build them up. And your life is built off destroying people and gaining from it. All right, 4333. Threes could be significant. So from the look of it, these people are trash. Just so y'all know, if y'all come back and watch, you are trash. I completely understand why you are jealous, why the hatred, why the jealousy has festered into hatred. Because this is far beyond just being your average hater. This is hatred. And it could be masked in a joke. Which brings me to something I listened to earlier, and it actually said these people were going to try to make it seem like they were just playing. And that actually is what just came out in my cards. And so that's definitely for somebody here who's going to try to make it seem like everything they did was just a joke. Loss of relationships, loss of business opportunities, loss of job, loss of stability, and it was all just a joke. But the joke is not going to be funny when the joke is on you. I just see bought a house. Somebody could have bought a house. you won't have it for long. Enjoy it while you can, because you won't have it for long. Just so you know. And that's nothing out of hatred for you. That is speaking from the truth, is what you're going to get. It's called karma. And so what God does is he allows you to get so far up before he knock you down. Before he pull that red carpet right from under your little feet. And you get back everything you dished out. So, somebody not going to expect that. They think they're living their best life. Forbid they somewhere, well, send an evil eye. And they are not humble. Forbid they are somewhere and feel like they're sitting on some type of throne looking down on someone because they may not have what they have, because you ain't gonna have this for long. Just so you know. Everybody who has gained something off of trying to tear somebody else down, you won't have it for long. Stealing is stealing. It don't matter how you shape it or what it is you stole, whether you're a petty thief, like I said earlier, or a white collar criminal, someone who steals bigger things like houses, like inheritances. But the things that you steal, you don't win with those things. A lot of times those things, they go away fast. They break fast. They're used fast. Whatever the case may be, you don't have it forever. It's because it's not meant for you to have. And so it's always taken away. Only in this case, you were allowed to build, because maybe initially you didn't have anything. You know, maybe that's where the hatred came from. Watching someone else have what you wanted. And so maybe initially you had nothing. And so person with nothing don't have anything to lose. No, they say those are the most dangerous people, someone with nothing to lose. And so you were allowed to have something. You were allowed to gain. So you can know what it feels like to have something and have it all snatched back. And so whatever it is y'all think y'all gain from this, you're going to lose it. I see they slept with a friend. Air signs. Catfishing. Somebody pretending to be you. You know? How can you be mad with somebody who slept with someone who wants to be you? It's like picking the lowest hanging fruit. What was easy for you to get. Somebody willing to give it up because they thought they were getting something that somebody else had or that somebody else wanted. Projects ghetto. I see. What somebody is ghetto. It's a lifestyle for them. That's how they live their life. This is how their brain functions. Not with class, but with ass. So you can't be mad at a person who would sleep with someone who is beneath you. Somebody's name could be Chelsea. Somebody's name could be Melvin. And we got a Dominique right here. I see detached and disturbing. They're experimenting on you. It's the witchcraft, y'all. It is the witchcraft. That's why you gotta remain grounded in times like this. It's about to be some changes. Some changes are about to be made. I just seen 50-50. I've been seeing that a lot. 5-5, 5-5-5, 10-10, 2s, 2-2-2. It's about to be some changes made. Judgment's being called on those people who are behind the scenes. Smooth criminals. Somebody's name could be Smooth. Judgment is being called on those people who are behind the scenes thinking they're doing stuff, getting away with it. Those people who are not bold enough to even confront you with what it is that they have an issue with. Those cowards in the background who rather try to use witchcraft, spell work, to try to get under your skin, to try to get a reaction, to try to have you crash out so that you can look crazy. If y'all going through this, if you resonate with this, remain calm. If you have to reground yourself over and over and over again, remain calm, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to look a certain way. As long as they get caught and they're called out about it, then it's going to be a joke, you know. They didn't mean it, you know. But until then, they're going to be dead set on trying to make you look crazy. And if they can succeed with trying to make you look crazy, that's the plans. That's what they're going to do. That said, this could be someone trying to take something from you. But it's not just your destiny here. It's things that come along with your destiny. Maybe popularity, money, other resources, relationships. It's things that come along with this. With having this kind of trust within communities. And so in order for them to knock you out of your own destiny, you would have to actually forfeit it. So don't let them torture you, so to speak, into a response, because that's what they're doing. I swear, it's like people don't rest. They don't rest when it comes to me. I have to ignore stuff all day long. All day long. Because I know what it is. I know where it's coming from. I know that it's coming from a hurt space. And they're hurt because they know that they can't compete where they can't compare. And so the only thing they can do is hide in the background and try to get you to destroy yourself. Taking their anger out on others. Send an evil eye here. That's what these people do. That's what they're about. That's the only thing they can do. White. Somebody's name could be White. Timothy, Christopher. I see King. I seen Darian or Dorian earlier. Darian, I think it says. Your crown doesn't fit them. They want to be who you are. And so let them keep watching and let them imitate and let them even trick some people who are around you who don't know any better. You know, I like to say if someone has only worn cubic zirconias all their life and that's all they know, this may be a person who's not able to recognize what a diamond looks like. And so if they're able to trick some people into believing they are something that they are not, it's only temporary. You can only hold that facade for so long before someone recognizes that that's not who you are. And so they may even be able to trick some people here. But, you know, it's a lesson learned for everybody. And so even with whoever it is they trick, they'll get this lesson now and they won't be able to be tricked next time. You know, next time they'll remember what a diamond looks like and what a cubic zirconia is, and they would know the difference, and you wouldn't be able to trick them. And so we all have lessons to learn. These people unfortunately are going to learn a hard lesson. Everything they think they're doing, they're getting away with, they are not. And it's unfortunate for them. They've put in the work and have done so much and not been successful in what it is they are trying to do. Imagine people that can't successfully live their own life and be who they are, but they have this elaborate plan to come in and try to live someone else's. You're not even good at your own life. How are you going to be good at someone else's life? So that is what I have, y'all. Been on here way too long. Let me get off here. Actually, I'm going to end this and do another video. So I'll be back.